Good afternoon and welcome to WiCyS Australia affiliate. I would like to begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which we meet today and pay my respects to their elders, past, present and emerging. I extend that respect to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples here today. Today, our Chair of Academia, Dr. Elena Sitnikova, will be presenting on cyber physical system security Australian perspective. Over to you, Dr. Elena.
Thank you for introductions, Kevin. I will start my presentation by sharing screen. Today I will be talking about cyber physical systems in Australian perspective. This is an outline which I prepared for your attention. I will talk a little bit about background, the technological advancements and opportunities and challenges, need for cybersecurity, Australian cybersecurity initiatives, and the future research and education initiatives. And at the end, I will ask you if you have questions to send out to my email address. So just a little bit of background. I've been working in academia for quite some time, really 15 years in different universities. At the moment, I'm in University of New South Wales, Canberra, and also I'm affiliated with University of Alabama, Huntsville, and Mississippi State Universities. I work with 3 universities as a Plus Alliance partner with Arizona State University, King's College London. And I also, prior to joining university, I worked in the software industry for Motorola Global Software Center. So my current research areas are in critical infrastructure, cybersecurity, cyber physical systems, and industrial Internet of Things. So currently, I started working with critical infrastructure cybersecurity many years ago, but now with industrial Internet of Things and the devices are connected through the systems. I lead the cyber physical research group and currently have research students around 10 in my group. So also, I never differentiated research from my teaching. It's always my research. It's fed to my classes. At the moment, I teach postgraduate students, and number of students increased to 800. So, but the topic today is about everything interconnected, and we're looking into cyber physical systems. The cyber physical systems are the computer systems which control the mechanisms and elements of the of the physical processes by the algorithms in those systems, the computer algorithms. The cyber physical systems are similar to Internet of Things, but they're more complex because they worked with the physical processes. And my work in SCADA system security previously in industrial Internet of Things, it's now expanded into industrial Internet of Things, where the small devices, low powered, have the memory connections and IP addresses and connected to our critical infrastructures. So the autonomous operations in these systems, they are connected to the data technologies, the big data technologies, because the heterogeneous data we collect from those devices and number of devices are grown in the world, and especially in industrial Internet of Things, really posing the challenges for us. But at the same time, the advantages of using such systems in the remote areas where the systems is not reachable for humans or posing the great risks for the human working in such systems. I will be talking today not for about all cyber physical systems, but concentrate on unmanned vehicles like drones. And we know that the drones are used in a different situation in different environments, they are equipped with the cameras and they have the sensors of their geopositioning for the altitude and so on. And they're helping many critical industries like mining, the agriculture, building accessibilities and controls, marine science and sea rescues, and so on. And also they are working in the areas which are very high risk in Australia, like bushfires or the floods we have when it's a hurricane, the rains, if impacted Australian borders. So Australian Defence Force is including a lot of investment at the moment into unmanned aerial systems. We've seen the different investments into that, and the sizes of those systems are varied from very small drones to the big airplanes without the pilot flying around us. So they invested around 20 billion over the next decade for expanding the development of such systems. And again, these systems will be used by Australian Defence in the places where is the dull, dirty or dangerous mission critical systems. The dull means if, for example, those systems need to be used in a situation, then they have to observe our borders for many, many days and hours. Dirty, where they really need to be operate in a nuclear or some chemicals, explosions or spill, or dangerous, then where there some very bushfires or somewhere where the humans is in a quite danger to operate. So the need for cybersecurity of those systems are quite obvious because cybercrime is on the rise. Australia reporting the security incidents every 10 minutes, and it costs the business about 29 billion each year. So this is statistical data from our agencies provided to us. But as we speak, I read today the news that Victorian hospitals, 4 facilities were affected by cyber attack. It's too early to say what caused that problem, but it was already seen big impact. The hospitals had to postpone the operations in the theaters. There were no access to patients' records through the system. So we see that every day, and it's affecting our lives. With the COVID-19, what we've seen, the people are working remotely and people working from their home environments. Very often, these systems are not coping with the situation because the remote working requires a separate architecture for the businesses, because the access through the remote access like VPNs need to be thoroughly thought through, and the protection provided, because man-in-the-middle attack might happen in that situations. Also, people are working from home and they distracted with school teaching and other maybe situations. They're tired, long hours working, and they might be targeted for ransom attacks for the organizations. And this kind of situations and the cybercrime is rising every day. It's posing the needs for cybersecurity professionals and specialists to develop the systems, including cyber physical systems, to be safety and security for any businesses or any Australians live in this and using those systems in digital platforms. So at the moment, we've seen the figures like 18,000 more professionals will be both in technical and non-technical cybersecurity positions and workforces by 2026. So talking about cybersecurity in physical systems, we need to talk about challenges, because we researchers know that we need to be ahead of the situations and the hackers who are trying to compromise our systems. The use of that systems is now showing that we have more cyber-physical systems in military and civilian sectors, and also the malicious attacks are also increasing. The cyber-physical systems itself, they're causing the problem because of not being described as a simple systems. They are interconnected to other systems, and the people are relying on those system controls in some safety operations. So we can see the use of those systems in the critical infrastructure, and they use in the new systems and legacy systems. We can see the systems of systems which operates in a different complex environment, or families of systems. So we're dealing with a huge data, heterogeneous data coming from these sources, from the electronic operations, from operational side of those systems, OT systems, and then network communications through IT systems. And we need to look into those problems holistically. We need to look into the ecosystems in that respect. So the cyber-physical systems, they have the limited of hardware resources, and they have the security measures, but they are very, very simplistic. The artificial intelligence, it's one of the research areas which coming to these systems, cyber-physical systems, but they still the cyber defense models based on artificial intelligence is still not mature. So new advanced threats which are causing the problems for such systems, distributed denial of service attacks, hijacking, or botnets, they're not easy to discover in such systems. But Australian government introduced the cybersecurity strategy in July last year, which talks about seriousness of the implications if those systems and Australian lives are compromised. So they outlines the strategy, which talks about families who live in Australia, the critical infrastructure providers, and business leaders and businesses online. So according to that security strategy, Australia is investing 1.67 billion over 10 years to achieve security and more secure, enhancing the security for our critical systems. And this is the strategy not only for government and investing, federal government and state governments, but it's also shared responsibility. They expected everybody be involved into strategies, so government with the businesses and also community of practices. The communities also need to be educated and be informed with the purchasing decisions or operations of those systems. So another initiative which Australian government initiated this time, we did have the Critical Infrastructure Act 2018, and it's now leading towards enhancing the framework to managing risks which associated with the critical infrastructures. We always been good position to look into critical infrastructure system like gas, electricity, water, but we didn't thought about the education sector, which is now also target for criminals for cyber attacks. The other aspects, and which one this paper is now under review by the businesses and government structures to provide the insight, and it will be implemented in Australia. So with the aim of enhance the cybersecurity obligations and assess the national significance. But being an academic and working in University of New South Wales in Canberra, and we're located in Australian Defence Force Academy, we contributing to the success of that new initiative and new strategy from Australia. We do research in cybersecurity, we do research in intelligence defense, cyber physical systems, and industrial Internet of Things. We prepare the new generations of cyber security professionals to be ready to those changes and challenges which the situation with our critical infrastructure is posing for us nowadays. So we look into multidisciplinary suite of professional education. We do research which is applicable straight away to the situations in industry. So our students have an exposure to practice that in their classes. They also were looking into not only postgraduate studies, we have the undergraduate studies in cybersecurity and also the professional development courses. What we want to build, the cybersecurity national workforce, the growth program, which is enhancing the skilled cyber workforce. This is an example of the research which conducting in our cyber physical laboratories within the group. So those just small examples which been conducting in our premises. The first project is sponsored by the Spitfire Memorial Association, and it was funded for detecting autonomous operations for the cyber security and physical UAVs and distributed anomaly detection system. So we developed the framework which addressing the question how identify a malicious attack through the anomaly detection in a ways that we will make those unmanned vehicles mission critical system resilient to cyber attacks. The second project which aligns with the United Nations priorities for safety and well-being and technologies. It's on the risk management based framework for developing intelligent systems for natural disasters. This project is run in collaboration under Plus Alliance and sponsored by Alliance as a seed project. And we're working with Arizona State University and King's College London. So in that project, we're developing the design for intelligent system, and we are testing how that design can be deployed efficiently before or during national disasters. And the way how we do it is strengthens national and international resilience. So the outcome from this project will be extended to a bigger project with 3 universities involved. Also, when we talk about cyber physical systems, we should not underestimate the space infrastructure. Space critical infrastructure is one of the areas where the research and challenges are coming from. To resolve this, we need to look into the connections to all other systems. It's no surprise, and everybody knows that these systems are relying on geopositioning through the satellites, relying to the time synchronization through the satellites. If we protect those systems from cyber attacks, that will be the big impact towards our critical infrastructure protection, defense, and make them resilient. In our university, we have developed the CUBE satellites, so we need to think how we can expand that research into cybersecurity and resilient such systems. So, but with the future direction. So I talked about what we've done here for education and for research, but now to defend our systems and make them secure, it's not enough. We need to apply the new aspects of cybersecurity, threat intelligence and security. We need to think about explainable artificial intelligence. Just talking about artificial intelligence is not enough. We need to look into cyberworthiness of our systems in civil and defense system, mission critical systems. We need to look into and assess the resilience of such systems. So we need to also look into complexity of systems and try to make sure that we understand the system's anti-fragility. So that concludes my presentation. Thank you for listening. And if you have any questions about my presentation or interested in doing research with our group here, Cyber Physical Group researchers, or want to study in New South Wales, Canberra, please do not hesitate to send me email. Thank you.
That was wonderful. Thank you very much, Dr. Elena.